Thank you so much for buying one of our take-home kits. Today I'm going to take you through making the Farmer's Market centerpiece box. And without further ado, we're just going to jump into it. So I have everything in front of me. It's prepped just like you would have received in your box. You would have also received 2 pieces of sandpaper in there, a 150 grit and a 180 grit. The 150 grit is going to be to prep your wood. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your sandpaper and you're just going to go ahead and you're going to sand with the grain until the wood feels nice and smooth enough to touch. Okay, so you don't need to go crazy by any means, but you just want to go ahead and get everything sanded up so that you can open up all the pores and prep it for the water-based stain that we're going to put on. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my orbital sander and get that started. Okay, so once you've sanded everything, you want to make sure that you get rid of the dust. This is one of these projects where we are going to be staining and painting before assembly. So you want to make sure that you get all of the dust off of your surface area so that you're not interfering with the finishing process, okay? So get her all done. Once we've done that, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to stain this. So today we're using the Van Gogh chalk paint in balsamic. And if you just come closer, I'll show you. We're just going to pour a little bit. So you probably, honestly, maybe like 1/8 of the can. And then you're going to go ahead, add some water. And then you're going to give it a stir. Now, once you put this on, if you feel like it needs to be darker, add some more paint. If you feel like it needs to be lighter, add some more water. So you can really just play with the consistency of this to get the look that you want. Once you've done that, you're gonna take your paintbrush and you're just going to apply the stain. Okay, so you definitely want to get this dry. And then in the original photo of this centerpiece box, you can kind of see that it has like an aged barnwood board kind of like dry brush technique. So what I've done, and in your kit, I did include some white paint, just a sample of it. You want to get yourself just a really old chip brush. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And just go ahead and get your paint out on a surface. If you have like a paper plate or something, anything will work. And what you want to do if you come in closer is you just want to pick up a bit of paint, okay? And then you want to dab it. You want to get some of the paint off, okay? And then you want to go long, and you really don't want to do this kind of like this. You really want to take it, and without a ton of pressure, you just want to kind of, see that? You just brush it along. And then what it ends up doing is it ends up giving us this beautiful dry brush technique, which makes it look like aged wood. If you were using maybe like a gray stain on this and then you used like a darker gray and an off-white to do brush strokes, then it would end up looking like barn boards. So you can really kind of play with this technique. You can even do dry brushing in a color if you want. You could do like teal, or you can get really creative. So again, you just want to really so lightly. And it just ends up giving this really beautiful kind of aged look. Same with the round. You just lightly dry brush this ginormous dowel. And I'm not going to dry brush the inside, only because you're not going to see that. You're likely going to have things in there. And I mean, listen, if you have the additional paint and you want to do it, then it is your creative piece. Okay, so I already made one of these boxes and I made a video and everything, but then I was having some issues last night uploading it. So here I am again today making the same thing. But what I did today, just to keep it fun, is I printed myself a different font when I did this stencil. You will have the original font in your stencil, but I'm just trying to switch it up so that I don't have two of the exact same things going on right now, okay? So I'm gonna take my front piece here, and you do want to make sure that this is dry. So if you're working on this, if it's nice outside, let it sit outside in the sun, and you just want to give it a light sand with the 180 sandpaper that I gave you. This is the finishing sandpaper, okay? And again, you want to clean off this surface because this is rough wood, and the stencil does sometimes have a little bit of an issue adhering to this. So you would have received these stencils just in a different font, and what you want to do is you just press, and then you're going to peel this off. So this back here, if you come in closer, you'll see. You just want to peel this, okay? And like you can even get like, you can kind of have this up so it looks like it was kind of cut in between, and I'm just eyeballing where it's going. So that's where I'm gonna have that one go. I'm just hoping that this does not give me a hard time peeling this off, because it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes on the rough wood anyways. Okay, and that looks pretty good there. Yeah. Okay, so you really want to press this down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go slowly, and you're probably going to have to kind of, because you see it's already being a pain in my ass. When you peel this tape off, you really have to hold the stencil down. So it wants to lift, you got to just hold it, okay? And it's gonna probably be a bit of a pain in the ass, but sometimes if you take little bits of the tape off at a time, it can make it a little bit easier. Okay, and then you just really want to press it down as much as you can without, you know, being too aggressive on it, okay? So, I'm not worrying about this piece of tape because it's not covering any of the letters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some poly. I'm using Varathane. If you have Mod Podge at home, then that will work well as well. And I'm just, basically it's just a top coat. And I'm just gonna prime this, because what it does is once you put the black on, it's created like a clear coat over the stencil so that the black won't bleed as much. And let's say you're doing this on even like a white surface or something. Let's say you're doing like a sign and it has a white background and you want to do like black lettering, then I always suggest do white first, let it dry, and then do the black on top, and that will help to eliminate bleeding from happening. Not gonna lie, this stencil on the rough wood is pretty temperamental, so if you have any issues with it, just let me know and I will mail you out another stencil, okay? Or maybe you have a Cricut at home. Anyways, okay, get that on. And then quickly allow that to dry. Now, in the last one that I did the letters in black, and I did provide you with a sample of black paint. And really what you want to do at this point is you want to you really want to be doing kind of like a stamping technique, but I'm actually going to use the white just to be different on this one. And you want to just, see how I'm doing this? Stamping it down. That's what you want to do. Especially because it is such a loose stencil on the rough wood. You don't want to be brushing it and then it lifts it up. So I'm just stamping this down. Done. We're gonna go ahead and peel this off. Beauty. The white is just like super subtle, which is nice. As you can see, there's a couple of areas that we just have to pick out the letters. I'm just gonna take a screw and I'm gonna lift these bad boys up. Beautiful. I like it. Okay, and then just get that dry. Okay, so now that everything's pretty well dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling. So if you want as well, I mean, you could have done your, see there's already an area to touch up, which I don't have to do it now, you can always do it after. But I mean, you can put your stencil on once your box is made as well. Anyways, let's get building. So take my bottom, take my side, run a little bead of glue along this bad boy. And then I'm gonna glue and shoot it. So, kind of turning it around to give you guys a visual. So I'm gonna take my nail gun. If you don't have a nail gun, just use some finishing nails and a hammer. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot. Last thing that I like to do on the front and the back is I like to take my countersink just to give it a little bit of extra support, and I just pre-drill 1, 2 on the front, and I do the same thing on the back, and then I just take some 1¼ screws. You can even use 1½ if that's what you have, and just snug those in. The glue and the nails are going to hold, but this is just going to give it that little bit of extra support Plus, I like the screw holes. It makes it look more rustic and palette-y to me. If you want afterwards, you can also just take some of the stain in a small brush and just fill in those holes so they don't stand out as much. So once you're done everything and it's good and dry, you're gonna wanna give it a finishing sand. So you're just gonna take your sandpaper, and I don't wanna go crazy on these levers. I just want it to look a little worn. Again, using the 180, but I'm gonna go everywhere. And then, you know, if you wanna take your dry brush, maybe there's some areas you feel like it needs a little bit more dry brushing, do it before you put the wax on. Because once you put the wax on, you can't paint over it, that's it. Okay? When it comes to applying the wax, I'll show you on the front quickly. Okay? So again, you wanna make sure that you get all of the dust off. Okay, so you're gonna take your wax. You guys got some samples of wax. And I have a brush I use for my wax, but you guys can just use a rag. I do sell the brushes if you do want to order one, okay? But I'm just gonna take some wax, and I don't have to put it on like that, but I just did. Okay, and you're just gonna take this wax and put it everywhere. And do you see how it just really takes that dullness and really brings it to life? And then once you rub this off, that's the point of this wax, is it's wax on, wax off. So you're gonna get it on, and then you're gonna take your rag, and you're gonna rub it off. You're gonna let it cure for 24 hours, and then you're gonna have this beautifully finished product that just feels so beautiful. Like even on this handle here, you can see it looks pretty dull right now. If I take this wax, you can really just see, if you come close, how it really takes it from this dull to this beautiful finish. It just makes everything pop out. Okay guys, so this is the tutorial for the Farmer's Market centerpiece box. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact me. And share your photos. Please tag Build Like a Girl Canada. Put it on Instagram. Put it on the Facebook page. I want to see how you guys decorate the centerpiece box. Give me some ideas. So anyways, I hope that this was great. And thank you so much for ordering the kit, and happy building.